Every day, countless CEOs, directors, investors, and leaders wake up trapped, chained not by iron bars, but by unseen forces squeezing the life out of their ambitions, strangling their company's potential with invisible hands. It's that gnawing pressure, the late nights wondering why growth stagners, why competitors surge ahead, why no matter how hard you push, your vision just slips through your fingers like smoke. You've built dreams, built teams, but something still feels off, like a storm gathering beneath your feet, threatening everything you stand for. Maybe you've sensed it, the quiet, dangerous force lurking behind the business world's greatest upheavals. That force is private equity, not just an investment vehicle. It's a fire that burns with a ruthless intensity few understand, but everyone fears. Because private equity doesn't just invest in companies, it restructures realities, rewires destinies, and rewrites rules. It's the shadow power no one admits to fearing out loud. But those who know its game, they win, or they disappear. The fear around private equity isn't hype. It's real because this powerhouse plays a different game, one where hesitation is costly, comfort is fatal, and speed kills the competition. You aren't just dealing with money when private equity steps in. You're facing relentless pressure to eliminate waste, chase hyper-efficiency, and deliver returns that would make even the toughest board members' heart race. Every decision gets magnified, every move dissected, every weakness exposed. It's brutal, it's raw. What makes it terrifying? It strips away the fluff, exposing the core truth of any business. Are you lean enough, fast enough, bold enough to survive? There is zero room for just enough. And if you think your legacy or sentimentality protects you, think again. Private equity doesn't love companies. It affects them mercilessly because it's fueled by one thing only: results. Yet, here's the brutal paradox. While private equity can topple empires, it also holds the keys to rebuilding them stronger and faster than ever before. Hidden in that fear is opportunity, an opportunity so powerful, so all-consuming, that only the most daring leaders grasp it. Private equity forces transformation, demands reinvention, and exposes truths no CEO wants to face but needs to. If you can stop fighting it, stop seeing it as the enemy, and instead leverage its power, you can free your business from the slow death caused by indecision, outdated systems, and bloated hierarchies. Private equity burns off the dead weight, but in the process, it ignites a fierce, raw energy that can catapult companies beyond what they ever thought possible. But how does one survive and even thrive amid such relentless force? Here's the truth, buried beneath the jargon. It's not about playing by their rules, it's about rewriting your own. You have to become unbreakable, not just in financial numbers, but in mindset. Private equity doesn't just buy companies, it buys potential and bets on toughness. The leaders who survive are the ones who stop asking for permission, the ones who question every rule handed down by outdated systems. They don't wait for change, they own it. They see the brutal efficiency of private equity and use it as a mirror to confront every weakness hiding in plain sight. Accountability becomes their weapon, speed, an obsession, transparency, their shield. This is why the most feared private equity firms are also the most respected, because they don't just cut costs. They build warriors out of leaders too comfortable in their comfort zones. You want to outlast them? It's time to stop running from the storm and start learning to dance in the rain. It means tearing down silos that suffocate innovation. It means attacking your organization's sacred cows with the hunger of a disruptor, not the caution of a caretaker. Too often, leaders cling to control as if it's safety. Private equity forces you to realize control is an illusion when you refuse to evolve. What these investors demand is brutal honesty about what your company really is, and fierce discipline about what it must become. Here's the hard truth. Most businesses that fear private equity aren't afraid of the money. They're terrified of exposure. exposure of weaknesses long hidden behind bloated budgets, inefficient processes, and complacent leadership. Private equity illuminates every crevice, highlighting what works and what doesn't with ruthless clarity. That's why it's feared. It threatens the illusions many have built their careers on. But for those willing to face that light, it's liberation. It's a chance to burn away the dead parts that drag your business down. And here's the subtle secret very few share. Private equity's power lies not just in what it strips away, but even more so in what it brings: connection. These firms don't just shuffle money. They bring networks of relentless operators, experts, and visionary strategists. They build ecosystems where the rare, the bold, the exceptional find one another to unlock unseen potential. If you think private equity is just about cold numbers and ruthless deals, you're missing the point. It's a forge for new leaders, not a graveyard for old ones. The difference between those destroyed by this force and those who flourish often comes down to who they align themselves with. The right partners can turn this fearsome force into a rocket engine for growth, innovation, and dominance. But you can't fake this. You can't slap on a new title or chase buzzwords and call it private equity ready. Real readiness comes from relentless self-examination, from sharpening your team's ability to innovate under pressure, and from brutally pruning what no longer serves your mission with surgical precision. It means redefining what success looks like, beyond quarterly reports, beyond vanity metrics, to real, lasting value. The leaders who understand this don't just survive acquisitions, they leverage them to become something greater than before. This is why private equity commands fear. It commodifies comfort and demands raw, unfiltered performance. It rejects the mediocre. It punishes the unprepared. And yet, it champions the bold who dare to rewrite their stories, who embrace transformation as a path to liberation. Because underneath it all, private equity is a mirror reflecting the brutal truth every business must face, and the ignition point for a revolution many never saw coming. So what can you do right now, as a leader standing at this crossroads? First, stop resisting the facts. The faster you accept private equity's relentless demands, the faster you gain control over your future. Start by ruthlessly questioning every assumption you've held about what your business can be. Then, surround yourself with people who do the same. The old networks, the usual advisors, they won't cut it. You need partners who think like transformers, not caretakers. Next, become a master of speed, not just in decision-making, but in execution. Private equity success is won or lost in moments, in how fast you can learn, pivot, and act without hesitation. Finally, foster a culture where transparency and accountability aren't just buzzwords, they're the air your company breathes. Secrets and silos are the enemy. Radical honesty is the path forward. Watch how the strongest businesses pay attention to cash flow as if it were a living beast, not just numbers on a page. They become obsessed with margins, with operational excellence, with customer loyalty measured in real, raw engagement. They build teams who challenge the status quo daily, not occasionally. They accelerate innovation by smashing bureaucratic walls, empowering the edges of the organization where creativity lives, not suffocating it under layers of approval. This relentless focus on bottom-line truth with top-line vision is the cutting edge private equity cuts with. If you feel overwhelmed by all this, good. That means you're alive. That means your hunger for change is real. This isn't a game for the faint of heart or for those who want comfort over greatness. But within this pressure cooker lies the chance not just to save your business, but to catapult it into a league of its own. Those who master this force don't just keep their seat at the table, they build the table, redefine the rules, and turn the fear of private equity into their most powerful weapon. And it all starts with one choice: to stop running and start facing the fire head on. Because in that fire, everything that's broken can be remade, and everything worth building can rise from the ashes stronger than before.